All right, so we back and we're going to talk. We're going to try this again. I see the Lord Prophet is in the building first. Thank you for joining. Who else is in the building? Um, Come on in. I know that technology is something else sometimes, ain't it? I I told her she has to download. Let's see. Approve. Okay. Adding. Let's go. It says adding, so she should be here. Connecting. Hey, had to update that app. Update that app, brother. What's up? Can you hear me? You have a, you have a noise in the background. Can't hear you. Can you hear? I can't hear you. Take the Bluetooth off. Take that Bluetooth out.
Well,
Talk
I
to me.
put that on because you couldn't hear me.
Take that off. Take that Bluetooth off.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
But you can't hear me. Take it out. Can you hear me now?
Cut that out. What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
Try it again.
Try it again.
Reverse what you
Reverse
just
what you
did.
just did.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? She's froze. She's froze, y'all. She's froze. Froze. She froze on me. She froze on me. You better get back in here. I know that much. Oh, let's see if she come back in. Let's try to get her back in. Let's try and get her back in. This I don't know. I mean, I didn't have anything really enlightening. Well, I just didn't. I
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a lot better. Keep
Okay.
whatever you're doing. Keep that.
I, I don't know what was the problem, but okay. Let me be great,
But
Facebook.
I can hear myself in your feed though.
See, when I put my AirPods in, you said it sound better.
Take the AirPods out.
They're not in.
Okay.
Okay. So we can do
But
it like this.
but I can hear myself coming through your
You
speakers.
you must have to turn your thing down because I'm just on regular live. I don't have anything attached.
Look in your scroll down the screen and take the Bluetooth. Turn the Bluetooth off.
Okay, hold on. Better?
Yeah, yeah, better.
You still hear yourself or no?
Let me see. I can hear myself. I can still hear myself. Yeah.
I don't know why.
All right. So I'm gonna
See, she said my AirPods work better. See?
whatever is going on right here. I'm good. But when you put the AirPods in, I'm hearing a lot of static.
I didn't know. You said you were hearing static before I put them in. I'm telling you.
Are you
Hold on.
so you're without your earphones?
I have them out right now. I'm gonna put them in, and you tell me if you can hear me better.
Okay, talk.
I was. Now I have them in. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, and I don't hear myself.
Yeah, like I hear our conversation coming back to me.
Mm, so it
Okay,
has
no,
to
there
be
it goes. Now it's good. Now it's
good.
good.
All
All
right,
right.
let's keep it strong. Let's keep it strong. Let's keep it righteous, and let's keep it right now. So, for those of you joining this live right now, you may not know, but hold on, let me see. Somebody, hey, that's like, I'm getting everybody asking me, hey, I got some people asking me why I'm not protesting, but including you.
Yeah, you know I
So
had to ask because I know that you
yeah,
like to be out there advocating and
I do. I have my fire in me. I have fire in my birth chart. So, you know what I mean? Like sometimes, that activist in me don't want to sleep. He got to say something. But that's why we're here. That's why we're here today. Because we're gonna talk about, why I'm not protesting, not specifically me, but specifically why, you know, we should be thinking about a different approach or a new outlet to doing things for us. I got on here yesterday. Hold on, let me first introduce you to everybody joining the live, and you don't know who is on the live with me right now. I have Eloaja in the building. She is a poet and a business owner. She is
yes,
a
indeed.
entrepreneur. So it's only right that I bring someone in that kind of has a cultural sense to what's happening and also has a financial investment to what's happening. It may not be her business that's being truly directly affected, but business get affected by mail. You know what I'm saying? And so you can go follow her at Eloaja on Instagram if you want to. She has a pretty nice page. She does a lot of fitness stuff, a lot of
Thank you.
keeping health, a lot of health stuff. So and poetry. So you could go follow her page at Eloaja. Her name's in the link in the title here. So follow her on Instagram. I think that's where you live more, huh?
Say that one more time. Look,
I
your
said I
voice is
think you
feeding
live.
back.
I think you're more active on Instagram, ain't
Yeah, I'm more active on Instagram, both my personal and business page. Elosia is my personal page. My business page is MMM Butterfly with an I. Um, and
you? Yeah.
it, yeah, I got a little bit of feedback, but anyway, and yeah, I'm all about fitness, health, period, internal and external. And you said something interesting. I want to just go back around to. You said fire is in your birth chart, and I'm a fire sign.
Mm,
And I don't know if this is true for you, but one of the things that is a big consideration for me in whether or not to go protest is that I know that fire is in me. And
yeah.
sometimes that fire, and when you see injustice, I could react. Um, and in big situations, I've learned to try to stop being so reactionary and really think it through and make sure that my 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 harmony is in line with what I'm doing. Like everything is in harmony, that I'm not going to regret that decision later. And more importantly, that I'm not being part of the problem, that I'm being part of the solution. Is that what you feel
Mm,
like is true for you?
yeah. That is absolutely a direct correlation to how I'm feeling right now. Um, I'm I'm usually more of I'm an organizer, so in the true sense of being an activist, I'm more like I organize these type of things. I'm the one that's like getting the people out and coming together. You know what I'm saying? And so, more so, I'm looking at it now like I was on here yesterday and I was talking about, everything that's happening, and my approach or my perspective on it was that let them loot or let them have their outrage or let them be enraged, let them have their time right now. But the but even while I was speaking about all of that, because yesterday when I was on here talking, it was only from a one perspective. I had two different perspectives, but I didn't want to bring the two together, marry the two together, because I wanted to talk about the second one on a different date because it's a whole nother topic. That's why we're here today. So
Right.
I didn't want to say let them have their protests and their looting and all of that without apology, unapologetic, but also let them be mindful too that you got to start looking for a new way after this. And I'm talking about when another killing happens, we got to start looking at another option besides protesting, because what's going on right now is that the elite, they're playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. You know what I'm saying? And
I
they got a
definitely do.
they got a they got a tangent plan. They got a tangent plan, but the goal is for us, we need a tangent plan. We need a plan that's going to produce wellness for us in all aspects. You feel what I'm saying? We need a tangent plan that's going to produce a space of wellness so that when these things happen again, we don't have to go and protest and march, because that's playing into the hand. And we all know this. I don't have to, I'm basically repeating what a lot of people's been
You
saying.
you think there's going to be a point in time where we don't have to march or protest? You
That's
you
that's
you
what I'm
foresee
saying.
that?
This is where we need to get to. We need to get
Okay.
there. We need to get to that place where we don't have to march and protest, where we don't seek revenge in that way, where we go and loot and tear things up and break things down, and I get it. When you're outraged, when you're enraged, when you're angered, you wanna tear things up. You wanna destroy things. I get that. But we
Yeah.
have to find a better way now, as far as let them have this, but when the next one comes, we can't do this again.
Well, I'm gonna
Because
tell you, I feel split about it myself. On one hand, I definitely don't condone people, especially there are a lot of black business owners that are affected by the rioting and the looting. And there's a whole lot of different opinions about who's been starting the looting, and a lot of videos coming out showing non-melanated people breaking out windows, and even some accusations that the police have been inciting that type of rage for people to break out windows or breaking out the windows. And at the end of the day, when you come in an impoverished neighborhood and you break out windows to a place that community has consistently patronized, and then they see that all their hard work and their money, them patronizing those businesses really don't mean anything, they're gonna go in there. They're gonna go get reparations of sorts, if you will.
mm,
So I agree. Let them have their time. I think there's also a feeling of, you hear a lot of people talking about how we built this, our ancestors built this. So if our ancestors built this and they are just living off the fruits of our labor, and they don't want to do their due diligence to break down, at a certain point, when do you when are you going to say enough is enough and take what you're
Mm-hmm.
owed?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is a little bit of a slippery slope, and it's a double-edged sword. You know, to see our people out there running in stores and things like that, but at the same time, it's also infuriating to watch an impoverished people run into somewhere and take things. And I mean, some videos I saw, people were taking like water coolers and lamps and things like that, you know. And then the news is like, oh, the thugs are looting the store and they're stealing. And then they have a white woman walking out, I think it was the Dior store, with like 3 bags, and they're like, oh, I hope she's not stealing. I hope she's just an employee. I'm like,
Mm.
really?
Yeah.
The girl walking
Right.
out the cheesecake factory with a whole cheesecake, and she's like, well, it's unclear where she got the cheesecake. It's unclear. Y'all, for real? Really?
Right.
So
Right.
when it gets to that point, and then they post up, 5 black people running in the store. I'm not gonna lie. I even put on. I forget who it was. It might have been Tarika Lead or Sean King. They had it up there, and the newscaster is like, "Oh, the looters, they're stealing." I said, "I don't see nobody stealing. They look like employees to me."
this is
Okay.
this is black people. What black people are doing with the looting thing, I think, is more so. It's not. Listen, when the people have nothing, they are going to take from those who have. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we have nothing. So, but what I'm seeing is the looting part. There's the protest. There's two. There's two. What's going? There's two parts of this. And the thing
Definitely.
is this. Look at this. Watch this. This is why we will not get the solutions we're seeking. This is why we will not get the answers that we're seeking. This is why we will not get the legislations passed on our behalf. You know why? Be, because they're looking at they're looking at what we're doing. And I talked about this yesterday. We need no organization. And the reason why I said we need no organization was for the protest part. The protest part, we don't need no organizing. We don't need, that's why I'm not out there, because that's why I'm not out there protesting, because I'm the type of person that I'm an organizer. And I was saying, I'm not out there organizing because my perspective is we don't need to organize. What we need is
Okay.
chaos. What they need to see is anger. What they need to see is hurt. What they need to see is pain. What they need to see is rage. What they need to feel is empathetic toward our plight. Now, the second side of that, the flip side of that coin, is that we won't get the legislations passed or the bills passed or the laws passed in our favor simply because we're not asking for nothing. Instead, we're taking, and because when we're done taking, we left nothing on the table.
Right.
When we're
Okay.
done taking, we left nothing on the table. And so
Okay.
therefore, guess what? Life goes back to normal, goes back as usual. Because when we left, after we took, we left nothing on the table and said, this is what we demand. To demand for the police officer to get his charges upgraded to first-degree murder, to demand he be arrested, and all the other cops. That's why the laws are here. The laws are here so that people like them don't go buck wild on us and just go haywire and do whatever they want. That's why the laws are here. We shouldn't even be asking for first degree murder. We shouldn't be
Okay.
asking
I
for,
I was waiting for you to get there, because
yeah,
that should have already been in
right. We
place.
shouldn't even be
Just the
asking.
fact that it took all of this to go viral and people to act out in such a manner just to get him arrested is such a deep-seated problem. Such a deep-seated
Absolutely,
problem in and of
absolutely,
itself. But go ahead, finish your point.
absolutely. No, I was saying that we have to now, if we're gonna play their game. This is why I said they're playing chess and we're playing checkers. The To me, the looting part is comical. That's why I said there's two sides. There's the protesting and there's the looting. But those who are looting, they're not even protesting. That's just being crazy.
Right.
The looters are just looting just to be, comical. That's comical.
Right.
They're getting a kick out of that, and it's in some ways it's funny. And in some ways it's funny because, you know, they get to go, it's a free fall. It's a free fall for
Right.
everybody's getting what they want. But there are the protesters out there marching, singing, preaching, speaking. That voice is going to go unheard. That's why I say they're playing chess and we're playing checkers, because the looters is drowning the sound of the protesters. The looters is
Hmm.
drowning the sound of what needs to be passed. And so guess what the media only sees? The media doesn't see protesters. The media sees looters. And so
Hmm.
because they see looters and they're spreading this all over the world, Black people are going to still be in the same predicament in any setting or country or place we go. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to
I
look
hear
at
you.
a better approach to getting our questions answered and getting our laws passed, or getting, you know what I'm saying? Getting something done about what we need, getting something done in our favor. And so I'm seeing, what I'm seeing here is, or yesterday, what I was saying was that we need no organization. There needs to be no organization, because every time we organize, I said this yesterday, every time we organize, we either get Brother Malcolm, which is we get, because Malcolm didn't sell out, so we get taken out, or we get Martin. Martin kind of was like, Martin woke up late, but by the time Martin became radical, they took him out because he knew too much. When he woke up, he had started to learn some things, and he switched his message, and he infiltrated who they were. So he started to put
Hmm.
that out there, and they took him out. We either get him, or we either get Huey P. Newton. They put us in jail.
Hmm.
They fuck up our brain. They drug us. We come out smoking crack. Somewhat. That's what happened to Huey P. So
Preach.
now we gotta think about, we cannot organize. And I said this yesterday, but I don't want to talk about that, was yesterday's topic. So there is no organization. That's why I'm not out there, because I'm too organized with this stuff. And I'm like, right now,
See,
they don't
I
need
don't know.
organization.
I think there does need to be an element of organization. I think that you're right. There's a time and place for everything. So there has to be a time and place for the anger. I'm just, hey, we can agree
I'm,
to disagree, but there has to be a time and place for the anger. And there's a lot of components to that. Like, I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you have peaceful protesters out there singing and praying, and the police showing up and pepper spraying them in the face. Listen, at what point do you not expect people to say enough? This has been building.
mhm,
This is not just because of George Floyd. This is not just because of Ahmaud Arbery. This has been building for quite some time. And really honestly, just the fact that I can sit here and recall a time where even as I was growing up, and even with like my mom or my dad, there's always been this sense of kind of like, you got to stay in your place. You can advance, but you got to advance very carefully, and you got to, make sure you act this way in this setting. You got to make, because you have to be two steps ahead if your skin is this color, and you gotta do all of this shucking and jiving, excuse, my term, but for lack of a better phrase, as a black man or a black woman, and watch yourself be consistently and constantly overlooked, mistreated, and told, nah, sit down, stay in your place, stay in your place.
mhm,
Take what's given to you. Y'all should be happy. Y'all not slaves no more. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
literally, it's been
yeah.
said, like, on mainstream media. We've done so many great advances in abolishing slavery. That's where y'all at in y'all
Mm.
minds in 2020. Y'all are still in a place of, well, at least you're not slaves. Even, I don't want to get too political, but
No,
yeah,
get political. Get political. Get political.
no, because this election.
Get very political.
Woo! This election, and I hear people say, "Well, I don't vote because it's the lesser of two evils." Well, let me tell you something. I I rather fight the demon and prepare for battle with the devil than have to fight the devil himself.
See, I know. This is why I want you on. This is why I brought you on. I see you. Hey, I just want to acknowledge. I saw that comment, Chief. I saw that comment, Chief. So, I just gotta say something though about you being a businesswoman in America. Um, we're gonna continue to get what we get from America. We're gonna continue to get the treatment as long as we are this country. We're gonna always, I've been denied jobs. I can't even count on my hands, on my toes, how many times I've been denied a job. How many times a white man told me, go get this piece of paper or go get this, and then I can come work for him. And I'm like, I got to do all that, the freaking sweet floors. You feel what I'm saying? So it's almost like it's almost like it's a game with them, and it is a game
Exactly.
with them. It is a game with them. But being a businesswoman like yourself, we gotta like. I'm the type of person that when we are in this machine called America, and we're talking about do for self, and we're talking about uplifting our people and keeping the wealth inside the black business. Look at what happened to us in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look at what happened to Black Wall Street. Look at what happened every time. There is, I got to be straight up when I speak. There is no viable solution for us in America that is going to allow us to have a foot or a leg up over the white man. That's not going to happen in this country. You
So
understand what I'm
now,
saying?
but now in that statement, so going back to your beginning point, if that's the case, and we are aware that power is not given, it's taken,
Right.
what's the next move? What do you do next? And I seen somebody in the comments said mentally, and we're still mentally enslaved, and that's a powerful statement. And I'm gonna hit on a little bit of Willie Lynch papers, but not right now. I want you to answer that question.
Yeah, so what do we do now? And this is when I got so many people asking me, why am I not out there protesting? It's because, like you said, we got to be 2 steps ahead of them.
Yes.
I'm already 40 steps ahead. I'm 50 steps ahead. I'm 60 steps ahead. I've already created an outlet for us, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm always seeing things being being a guide and being very intuitive and being an enlightened master. I have I've been able to see things, with this premonition. I have the skill of premonition, the
Okay.
intuitiveness of premonition. I'm able to see things unfold before they unfold. Kind of like Sherlock Holmes, the movie Sherlock Holmes. I see
Mhm.
things unfold before they unfold. And
Okay.
I'm able to maneuver and manipulate my way out of it. So watch this. What's gonna happen with the protest? And this is me sharing. This is me giving you the solution to that.
Okay.
What we got to do is, number one, we always talking about organize, and I say we don't need to organize. We need to unify. Now,
Yes. Okay.
organize and unify is two different things, right? See, we want to organize because we're searching for a way of life within this country.
Okay.
We don't. They're not going to give us a way of life as a
Right.
business owner, or as a freelancer. I don't care. They're not going to give us. Listen, Dick Gregory said something about Michael Jordan, and it was the funniest thing. He said Michael Jordan don't have no money, and that's true because you can have all the zeros and commas in your bank account, but when you ain't got power, you ain't got nothing. When you ain't got power, you ain't got no money,
Mhm.
and that's what he was
Mhm.
saying. Michael Jordan ain't got no money. That's because he ain't
Mhm.
got no true power. Michael Jackson, one of the biggest pop stars on this planet. You understand what I'm saying? They took it all away from Michael Jackson. So that shows you that you truly have no influence, you truly have no power, you truly have no no way in this in this land, because we are not we're not from here. And I'm not talking about we're from Africa, but what I'm saying is our mental state, our spirit is not from here. Our spirit is
Mhm.
not from here. Our spirit
Mhm.
is from that dark, from that black matter, that energy. Our spirit is from the cosmos, that energy. We are from God. We are of
Mhm.
God. We are of God. And so we got to unify to return back to God. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
I do.
And when we unify and return back to God, then we have every answer, every solution, every problem solved. Our health is better. And people keep thinking, oh, why you want to separate? Why you want to separate? Why you want to separate? Well, it's not about separation. It's about survival. It's about reserve. It's about preserving life for us on this planet. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so
So
the way that
do
we
you feel
preserve
like
life,
we were, as a people, we were better off when we were separate?
100%. Now,
Okay. This is not the
now,
first time I've heard this. I've actually heard this from some elders who felt that
but
way too, that felt we were better off.
don't forget where we're at. Don't forget where we're at. We're in America, okay?
Yeah.
And so even when we are separate, when we were separate in the civil rights era, and there was black over here, white sit over there, white water fountains over here, white bathrooms over here, black bathrooms over there. They separated us. And when we were separate, they still lynched us. When we were separate, they
Yeah.
still killed us. When we were
Yep.
separate, they still looted us. When we were separate. And so now, through all this social distancing thing, they separating us. But now it is time to unify. And I know that sounds so like racially profile, or racially just charged. That sounds racially charged to say separate yourself. But the only way, listen,
But
lions do
that's what
not
we're
roam.
discussing.
Lions lions
That's
do
what it
not
is.
roam with elephants. Lions
Yeah.
do not roam with elephants. You feel me? Elephants do not roam with the zebras. Everybody stay in a pack. Wolves do not roam with dogs. Wolves don't roam with cheetahs. And
Mhm.
everybody stays in their pack. Nothing mixes in nature. You will not find in nature, you will not find in nature a dandelion or a sunflower growing in a dandelion patch. Or you will not find a sunflower growing in a rose garden. You will not find these things in nature. Nature shows you what we're
Yes.
supposed to be doing.
Unification is
Nature shows you
necessary.
what's supposed to happen. You understand what I'm
That's
saying?
And when they do, when animals do usually come to a meeting ground, they can come to that meeting ground because they know they got their whole pack behind them.
Right.
When they
Right.
come to the water
Exactly.
hole and everybody meets at the
Exactly
water
right.
hole, they know that they can come to that water hole because let that lion act up, and they know they got the whole crew right
Right.
there with them. And
Right.
that's one
Right.
thing that we see it in every other culture. We do not see it amongst ourselves,
No,
and
and
that is the part that's so disheartening to me. That we don't have that aspect, that we'll be so willing to jump in and connect with other cultures and connect with everything outside of us, but we won't dedicate that same energy or twice that energy, which is really what it should be, to our own culture, to our own
mhm,
people. And that's why it's very hard for me to even badmouth our people, because I just feel like everybody done had enough of that. Everybody
yeah,
everybody had enough of that. So I don't want to badmouth anybody. I really
yeah,
want to say, okay, I recognize where you're at, the place that you're at, but let me show you something else. Let me
mm,
let me demonstrate to you that there is another way. That I don't have to say your way is wrong. I don't have to say that you a buffoon, you a this, you a that. I seen a lot of comments about, I forget where it was, but the people was out there doing the electric slide and people were just going in on them. And at the end of the day, we know that we are not of this land. We know that our thoughts are not of originally
our
of
ways
this.
are not
We
their
we had
ways.
to
Our thoughts are
we
not
had
their
to
thoughts.
to grow accustomed to what was basically being fed to us, force fed to us. We had to try to figure out the path with all of what was being shoved down our throats. And I think that we've done an amazing job. Just the fact that we were taken from our original land, just the fact that there was slavery, and look where we are today. That doesn't mean that we're where we're supposed to be, but that just goes to show you they cannot keep us down. They cannot
Mm-hmm.
keep us down. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. We are
Mm-hmm.
magical, beautiful, talented people, and they gravitate to us and want everything that is of us. So the moment that you recognize that and you really start to harness that energy and that power, that's when I feel like it's going to go to the next level. When, in my business, I teach people about loving the skin they're in and getting back to just the basics. Stop putting all of these foreign things in your body and then being confused why you got something foreign growing in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like, how can you,
Mm-hmm.
that don't, you know what I mean? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get back to the basics of it, like, and if you believe in a higher power, and if you look around this land, and even if you look in every single thing that you use that's coming from some pharmaceutical or some lab,
Ah,
it's
right.
based on something natural. It's based on
Mm,
something that God already put
right.
right here on the earth. Yeah, I'm gonna go,
Everything,
because I'll
everything that's
keep
going.
going.
No, I want you to, but everything that we have that they're using to keep us docile when it comes to education, that come from our ancient history. When it comes to our health, that comes from nature, the natural remedies that we've been using over there
Yes,
on the continent, all of that. Like I said yesterday, not everybody, not everybody is African minded, and not
right.
everybody's mind is on Africa. So everybody's not going to be running back to Africa. What I'm doing here is I'm leaving footprints for my beloved brothers and sisters here in America.
Hmm.
I'm leaving footprints for them to follow, so that way they, the children that come after, because it's our time right now. It's our generation's time right now. We're the
Yeah,
woken, we're the woken, we're the enlightened ones. We're the enlightened generation right now. And so that's why you see on everywhere I go on live, every time I watch somebody's live, it's always someone from our generation. It's never someone older. I can usually watch older people, but I can usually watch younger people. But the majority, the conglomerate of people that I'm watching is from my generation. I find that kind of crazy. I find that odd, not crazy, but I find it odd. I'm like, wow, why is everybody that I'm seeing that's awakening people here is from my generation, our generation, your generation. And
right.
so and so we have to, I'm leaving footprints for my beloved brothers and sisters here, because organizing to me is something that's dead in the water. As I said, look at Malcolm's, uh, the way they did him, the way they did Martin, the way they did Huey P. Uh, every time we came up with an organized solution, something based on getting us in a better predicament, it was infiltrated and it was torn down. And so we're trying to build the system to work for us in a broken system. You can't do that. Like I said,
Right.
I said this before. Something heavy cannot carry, something light cannot carry something heavy, but something heavy can always carry something light. You understand what I'm saying? And so we're the ones, we're the light ones. We're the light ones. And we are, because we're the type of people, we as a people, we really don't want for much. We don't want for much as a people. We want to be respected, we want to have our space, and we want to be creative within that space. We don't
Hmm.
want what they have. We don't, you got some European minded people out there trying to get themselves up there and doing all that and get where they are. But that's a certain number, according to like the energy and the essence and the spirit of most black people, where we want our own space to create, and we don't want to bother nobody. But the
Hmm.
fact of the matter is, we're trying to walk with a light stick, and they're carrying a big stick, and they're killing us with it, and they're shooting us with it.
Well, you
and the
know
put us in
what?
prison. They have
That's
a big stick.
interesting that you put it that way, because I honestly feel like us as the, if we're light and they're heavy, we've been carrying their asses for quite some time.
Yeah, but
We've been carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders, and I think it's time for us to drop it off. I think it's
yeah,
time to
what I'm
drop
saying
off
is
that load. I get what you're saying though.
our spirit.
Um,
Yeah.
the the energy of our people, and us not having us not unifying and having the second step and the third step and the fourth step, and you're right, we're not a people that want for much, and it's crazy because we're a very forgiving people, and we're always seeking to try for peace, and the
Yeah.
opposition is not. And that to me have might be where part of the problem exists, is that we want to keep being so forgiving, we want to go
Hmm.
ahead and include people, and we keep including a people that don't have our best interests at heart, even the people that adore our skin and adore what we do, and love, want to be with our men, want to be with our women. At the end of the day, when everything hits the fan, they get real quiet, they get
Mm.
real quiet, they get scarce, and they hide behind their excuses. So, again, yeah, we have to unify, but how do you get a people that has been generation upon generation, generationally forgiving and generationally willing to kind of just accept what's being given? How do you get them to get past that point and say, you know what? No matter what you say, we're not willing to accept anything less than what we're telling you we want. How do you get a whole culture of people to get to that point?
I'm gonna tell you how. And I thought about this too. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked it because I thought about this and I thought about it long and deep before I, you know, considered this way. When you said that we are forgiving people, that's what make us light people. Because we so easy to just get it off of us and say, yes, we forgive you, and we walk with a lighter heart. Our
Mm-hmm.
hearts as light as feathers, so we walk with a lighter heart. And so that's what I mean by being light people,
Okay.
being we're light beings. But also, um, here's what I said to that. We have to absolutely not react. And every single time these shootings happen, we have to act like it didn't even happen. Now, I know that sounds crazy. That sounds far out. Like, why would you say something like that? See, every time they know they can provoke us, there's a saying I have. I said, if anybody that can control your attitude has the influence over you. If anybody who controls your emotions and attitude, they have the influence over you. They have the power over you. And so anytime people can do something and they know it will create a reaction from us, and they know that it will provoke us, and they know that we will get out there and just jump out there and start looting and rioting, guess what? They're gonna do it every single time. It's like poking a bear and not expecting for that bear to claw your ass to death. So they know that they are poking a sleeping bear. They know every time that this happens, they are poking a sleeping bear. And what we're gonna have to do, I didn't want to consider this, but I thought about it. I said, we're gonna have to stop reacting. That's what I mean by them playing chess. They're playing chess. It's the puppet master pulling the puppet strings.
That's a tough pill to swallow. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you that you cannot, I apply that rule, even as an individual. You can't give people the power to make you happy or make you sad. You can't give people the power over you to control the narrative. However, they're gonna do it regardless. They've already demonstrated that they're gonna do it regardless. It's just that now it is being so televised, so publicly made knowledge, that that's really the difference. So they're gonna do. I'm sure there are many stories that you could probably tell me, either personally yourself or people you know, that have been subject to being beat by the cops or mistreated by the cops or being mistreated in the court system or being mistreated at their job. So they're going to do it regardless. So the place that I differ with you is, I don't think that we are supposed to not react. I think we're supposed to react even bigger than what we've been reacting. And I think that that reaction has to be more calculated
Mm-hmm.
and well thought out. I think that if the next time we're going to have this reaction where we're going to protest, we also need to know that we need to go out there prepared for them to come out there with pepper spray and have our response to that pepper spray. I think that we're supposed to have our response to if they decide to drive the SUV into the crowd of people. I think we should have our response to the undercover cops being put in places like they're part of the protest. We need to have our cops in place to be on their side too. Maybe I'm saying too much, but I'm just saying the response need to be even larger than what it's been, and we need to move. We've had too much time to study our enemy to not move smarter than what we're moving. And I don't think it's not reacting. I think it's reacting, but reacting in a more calculated, effective way.
No, I like what you said in that last part where we just have to read the, I saw a comment too that said we have to redirect our energy, and that's a fact. Um
Yeah.
and when I say not react, you know what I'm saying? We can't fall and play into their hands. We cannot fall.
Okay.
That's why I like this, because I'm gonna give because I'm gonna say I'm gonna talk about the health part of this too. What
Yeah.
what, what we need to go in that factor. Um, but we need to, you know what I'm saying? When I say not react, I'm talking about react toward them. But we do need to react in a way that's healthier for us. We need to react in a better way. And we have to give them no power.
Yes.
This is when the drug cartels do not make an announcement that they're about to come and bring drugs into the country. They do it
Right.
very silently. They do it very silently. They do it through tunnels. They do it through people's bodies. They do it through dogs. They do it through all kinds of ways. They smuggle drugs. They don't make an announcement that they're going to be bringing drugs into the country. And so every time they poke the bear, we react. Every time they poke the bear, they know that they're making it. We're coming announced.
Exactly.
We need to come unannounced. We need to move unannounced.
we're
We need
we're
to move
yelling out attack before we attack.
right. Yeah, so we need to be silent. We need
No,
to be
I feel
silent
you.
about how we react. And so our reaction should not be our react. This is why I say don't react, because they know they're going to see us. They know that they kill another black man. They know that they got to see us. We're going to be out there. But
Yeah.
I'm saying let's not go that way. Let's not allow them to see us move in that way anymore. And let's not give them what they want, because that's what they want. They want us out
Right.
there, number one. And then,
Okay.
you know, I saw another comment that said that they they gain power off of our energy. And that's a fact.
That's
So we
true.
have to shut
That's
so
very true.
we have to shut the power, we have to shut the lights off, so that way they don't get any more power from us.
Okay.
And when we by shutting the lights off, what happens when you shut the lights off? Everything goes dark. So that means everything, it goes unseen. Everything goes missing.
Right.
So when you shut the lights off, we got to go
Okay.
missing. We got to go unseen. We cannot be seen anymore. We cannot be seen out there anymore. So now is the time that we got to start looking into a more healthier way, because the more and more and more these things happen, the more and more and more us, our generation, me and you, we're going to
Right.
be at fault for
I
passing. We're
got
going to
you.
be at fault for passing down that type of information, that type of gene in our children, and they're
Hmm.
going to come up and do the same exact thing. And so we don't want to pass that off to our children's children. We don't want to pass that off to them. We want to break these curses. And so now the move must be to move. We must impute in ourselves a code, a cosmic code of being silent and not doing anything. But being silent and going missing, that's reaction. Being
Okay, I
silent
got you.
and going and getting out of Dodge, that's reaction. And so
Right,
they're gonna say, where did all the black people go? You know, where did they go? We don't
right,
have to announce to them when we move.
right.
To announce to
So
them
not
that
so
we made our
not
move.
being not inaction, but just being more quiet about our actions,
Being quiet, being
acting in
silent.
silence,
Yes,
acting behind the scenes, and building up our strength to be able to face the problem. And I definitely agree with that. That's
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So we got to be. So we got to be silent. And then I'm also in the I've created this, silent move, this idea for us, but this is not just for me to lead the way. This is for others. And this is why we want to do this video, right? So we can start putting out there, and I know, you have a business, and you our mindsets are different when it comes to how we're going to pursue life, okay? Our purposes are different. My purpose is to basically uproot my people and get them into a better place, a better space, a better
Mhm.
place, and a
Mhm.
place where there's always healing going on.
Mhm.
So that way that's what's being passed on to our children's
Yes.
children's children's children. And so
Okay.
I've been,
Where's that place?
I'm be honest with you, I can't say that, God.
Can't disclose that, right? No, you're
I
not
can't talk
supposed
about
to.
that.
You're not
I can't
supposed
say
to.
that on the
But I
live,
had to
God.
be devil's advocate and at least question you on it. Come
I
on
can't
now.
I can't announce that on the live, God.
Listen, I'm not
That's
gonna
a
lie.
sacred move.
I feel very similar in that, but I also understand the notion of people that have built something where they are and they want to stay and fight in that place.
Yes.
Um, and and that's the part that I feel like we also have to address, that people have been so engulfed in this society, and uh they just they've been in it too long, and they don't know how to separate from those things and try a different way. Now, do we sacrifice certain individuals to um
Mm.
or do we try to teach them and bring them along, teach them gradually, teach them over time, keep them reinforcing the point. It might call for, if you do take a group of people and you do unify them, do you need to do that first before you come back? Do you need to pull a Harriet Tubman and go
Mm.
set
Mm-hmm.
everything up and get you,
Mm-hmm.
and then come back?
That
Or do
that's
you stay there, and do you try to keep getting the people that are there to get like-minded and then stand up all at once?
I'll answer that. I'll answer that like this. If me and you are both in a boat, and and we are and we are drowning, and you are drowning, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're drowning. So somebody, or there has to be a mechanism for a life raft, or some way of being saved. So if we're both drowning, I can't save you. This is why the airplanes always say, put your
Put your
face
mask
mask
on
on
first.
first before you put
100%.
the ones on others. So if we're drowning, I can't save both. I can't save you trying to save us. I can't. So I have to save me and then save you. You dig what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I could throw you
Yeah.
the life. I could throw you the life raft. And so it may become a time where it looks like Harriet Tubman. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
where we go and establish, and then we come back, and then we
Yeah.
get those who are ready. Because listen, let's just be honest with black people, okay? A lot of times, and maybe this hasn't been your experience. This has been
Mm-hmm.
my experience. A lot of times when I have ideas or I have things I'm putting together for black people to act on, they don't want to act on it until they see it. They don't want to act on it
until
until
it's
they see it.
until it's already established. It's so,
Right.
listen, in business, I made the vow to support 100 Black businesses. I thought I could do it in 6 months. Wasn't that easy, but I'm almost to 100 businesses because I just believe in um, leading by example, leading by
Mm,
example. And so often it's difficult to get people behind something even when they know it's good for them. They want to wait until they see 50 of their friends doing it before they'll get on board. You know, a lot
mhm.
of times people don't have that initiative to be one of the first, or to jump out there and say, you know what, I know this is right and I'm not scared to go for it. I'm not scared if it falls through. I'm willing to put my name out there with it. So I definitely experienced that, and I can imagine in everything, in organizing things, it's 10 times as hard.
I understand your approach, your perspective when you say supporting 100 black businesses. That's all love, right? Support 100 black businesses. I love that idea. It actually makes me want to do it. But it also makes me think about me supporting my me supporting black businesses. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it all day long, right?
Hmm.
But when I think about the long term of what I'm doing, it's
Right.
basically what I'm doing in the long term is I'm keeping, I'm allowing them to stay here. I'm keeping them here. I'm saying, hey, I'm gonna support you because I want to see your business grow. I want to see you do well here. I'm like, no, man, shut that shop down and let's go somewhere else and do it where we don't have to worry about, you know, being shut down or being vandalized or swastikas being painted on our stuff or
Right.
people, coming in burning our buildings up. Let's go take our ship and sail somewhere else. Okay?
Right.
And so I'm saying shut down your shop and come and let's go
Well,
do this.
I feel that, but it's something to be said for at least sustaining your people, or trying to be a part of sustaining your people, so that, in preparation for the move, you can sustain somebody so that their business is consistent and ongoing, and then is able to come along and be an established thing, and not be something where once you're there, the person is then trying to build. So I think it's something to be said for still making sure that them dollars, especially if you're going to spend money anyway. If you want to spend money anyway, yeah, it might take a little bit more time to find the black business that offers what you want. Yes, they might be a small business and they might have to charge more money, but is it worth it? And
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to spend the money anyway, why not circulate that dollar amongst your own people? It starts
Absolutely.
right there to me. That's part
Absolutely.
of the unity. That's part of the connection of showing people, because I'll be honest, when I started my business, I had so many people around me telling me not to market myself to my own people,
Mm,
because the feeling is black people don't spend money with black people. You
mm,
got to target the white people, and then the black people will come. And I don't think like that. If I
mm,
think like I'm a black woman, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not doing what I'm doing just to make a dollar. I'm doing what I'm doing because I believe in black women and the power of the black woman. It's Mother Nature, it's Mother Earth all day long. Don't get me started on that, but it's okay. I believe in the power of a black woman, and us us coming together and learning how to love ourselves will only lead to us loving each other in a way that will empower us massively, give us the
mm.
power to love our men in a certain way, and help them in their development. Like at the end of the day, every man has a mom. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it starts there. So for me, you know, I'm gonna go to what is in my heart. And what's in my heart is I want to build up my sisters. Now, that by extension, by in humanity, that includes all women, but first and foremost, it's black women. It's the
Mm.
women that look like me. It's the women I compare with. It's the women whose stories I understand and I know and I compare with, and that I want. And they are the ones that have been in the struggle so long, not only by the world, but then from the world, oppressing our men. We, 9 times out of 10, the woman is the direct line, that person that man is taking all his frustration out on. So,
Mm.
for me, building up our women is is just the most pivotal thing to me,
It's definitely
to make
needed.
it grow in the way it needs to grow.
No, it's definitely needed for our culture. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where we see each other, we do for each other, we help each other, we support each other, and and I had that mindset too before, where I was like trying to market myself. I started out like marketing myself to, like, my message to black people, and then I
Mhm.
had white people get mad, and then I said, no, let me stop, let me be all inclusive, let me make sure
Mhm.
I include everybody, and then
Mhm.
I would I would show up to, these, I would show up as, marketing myself to everybody, and then I would get like no support from the white people, because they don't look at me and buy and see me as a serious business person, or see me as a serious
Mhm.
man who is about business, because they're used to seeing a businessman looking a certain way, looking a different way, talking a certain way, and that's just not me. You feel what I'm saying? So you ain't
Mhm.
gonna get me talking a different way, a certain way, and looking a certain way. That's just not me. And so it wasn't working for them. So I had to. I ended up having to, pull out of trying to do that, and then I go
Right.
back into, mess modeling myself, so that I speak to the black man and the black woman, because
Mhm.
as a healer, my job, as a healer, my purpose is to unify us on a soul level, on a cellular level. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So that when I see my brother and I see my sister, I don't see a male or a female. I see God. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I see
Mhm.
God. That's why I always call, every black man, black woman God, because
Mhm.
that's what I see. You understand what I'm saying? So I see God. I know that they have the power. I have a structure in place to offer healing, but I also know that they can also heal me as well. You feel me?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm here to I'm here to plant seeds. I'm here to plant seeds in our people, so that these trees blossom from them, of health, mindset type of stuff.
Mhm.
Focusing on self more so, focusing on each other, focusing on our children, focusing on our nation building.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So now we got to get to that place. We got to get into that space. We got to go there now. And what I mean by there is, we got to now offer up, so health benefits, true health benefits, in a healing way to our people.
Mhm.
And the best health benefit that I can offer to people is, one's own self. It's to look
Mhm.
within. It's to start looking within, start understanding that you are God, start understanding that you have the power to uplift yourself out of this situation without money, okay? And understand that, and I know people keep thinking it takes money to do these, it takes money to do that. Let me tell you something. There are indigenous tribes right now, and I'm not saying we got to go back to an indigenous tribal way, but what I'm saying is there are still tribal families out there still living off of nature's economy, which is trading, bartering, and
Yes.
exchanging,
Right.
gifts.
And
It
just
is the
sharing.
exchanging.
Yes.
It is the exchanging of gifts. In the Bible, it says that when you come to the offering table, bring your gifts. Bring your gifts to the offering table. Bring your fruits, that which you were given, your gifts. Bring your gifts to the offering table. So we have gifts, not just, artistic gifts, creative gifts, but we have gifts as mental. We have the gift of healing
Yes.
ourselves. We have the gift
Yes.
of uplifting ourselves. We have the gift of empowering ourselves. And so this is where we got to move to. We got to go there. We got to direct our energy now
So
to
allow
healing
me to
spaces.
play devil's advocate again a little bit. So do you think that part of the looting, part of the rioting, that's uh under the premise that you believe that there are our brothers and sisters out there starting this or inciting this. But do you think that the quarantine has something to do with why people are so reactionary right now?
I'll tell you, I made a post earlier on Facebook. I said the killing of George Floyd is is what sparked the riots and enraged black people, and that's what got us out there. COVID-19 and telling people to social distance and telling people to stay in their homes and imprisoning people mentally like lab rats, that's what
Mm,
sparked the outrage of white people, and that's why they're out there. Because as I said in the post, I said that um we are meant to communize as humans. We are meant to
right.
communize as a species. We're meant to be together or meant to come together. We're meant to have that interaction, that
Most
social
definitely.
interaction. And so George Floyd sparked George Floyd's death enraged us. COVID-19 outrage the white people that you're seeing out there. And that's why you see more white people out there than you've ever seen in any riot
Previous
of
times, yeah.
black death. Any black death riot. White people needed a reason to get out their homes. And this was the best opportunity. This was the greatest opportunity that allowed them to get out of their homes and loot and do whatever the hell they doing. But COVID-19 was the reason that sparked that. But for black people, COVID-19, we were already, before George Floyd, we was at Daytona Beach, not me, but Memorial Day, we was on Daytona Beach partying it up.
People was
You
out
understand?
there. Yeah.
We when they told us a social distance, we was throwing house parties. They was telling us a social distance. We was throwing all kinds.
Oh God.
We were doing the total opposite because why? Because as again I
Yeah.
say what I said earlier, black people find stuff like this comical. You know what I'm saying? This is we get a laugh, we get a laugh out of, we get a kick out of not listening to the white man because that's who we are in our nature. We're not who you are. We're
Right.
not you. We
Right.
get off on rebelling against the white man
Right.
and as
And
we should
and
get
all
off.
of this, coming. It's been no social distancing going on. I seen somebody posted on IG who knew that rioting was the cure to COVID-19. I was like,
Mm,
wow, that
right.
part, because where have you seen any, not now, who knows, but I haven't seen anything like that, or any inkling of that, any sickness is being spread amongst people or whatever the case may be. And and then you got your conspiracy theorists that think that this is all they wanted, the riots, so that they can train their 5G AI to learn how to react in this type of situation. Now, do you believe in that at all? Because
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you this. 5G is a real thing. I'm with a company that had on my phone that I had 5G. I'm not gonna say the company name, but they said that, my phone been saying I had 5G. I know it wasn't at the time,
yeah,
but that was letting me know that it was coming. Now,
no, yeah,
while in quarantine, I went out every day. I was running, I was on my bike. You might have seen me videoing. I still was, listen, I felt more comfortable going out without a mask and all of that when everybody was in quarantine. And I'm more now like, oh, maybe I do need a mask now that everybody's back out here. But I
mm,
saw, I don't know if they were from the electric company, but I definitely seen some work going on that was non-essential.
yeah. No, listen,
So
the IG thing, the 5G thing is real, and the AI technology, that's all here. That's all real. Um,
hmm
I always recommend this movie. I recommend this movie all the time, and I tell people to go watch it every single time these things happen. Go and watch the movie with Matt Damon. It's called Elysium. If you ain't,
yes,
have you seen that
100%.
movie?
I'm a movie buff, of course. What?
Oh,
Come
now
on now.
tell me,
Listen.
tell me what. I'm so happy that somebody else saw that movie because every time I tell people to watch that movie, they say
Listen,
they
the
never watched it.
machine that the woman laid in, she got a little sore on her. She laid in the machine. It healed everything in her body. I was
Man,
like, they
they
know they
got
got
that.
that. They know
They
they
got
got that
that.
already. Stop
They
it.
already got that. They already got that. Listen, they already got that. But
Yo.
but but check this out though. What just happened 2 days ago?
What you
With
mean?
Elon Musk. With Elon Musk. What just happened 2 days?
Speak on it. Speak on it. They saying he done lost his
SpaceX.
mind, but
SpaceX. Out of all this, during COVID-19, they were built. Oh my God. They were building a whole spaceship, rocket ship, and they launched
right,
the rocket
the rocket launch. Matter of fact,
during COVID,
everybody was talking about it. Yeah,
during
yeah,
COVID-19.
yeah,
They did this. The man just launched a rocket 2 days ago into space. Now
yep,
go watch the movie Elysium, and then
yep.
you start to put,
You already
then you
know they
start to,
built.
you know what I'm saying?
Come
Then you
on
start to
now. You
put one
already
and two
know.
together. You start to
The
add it up.
even with Bill Gates with the toilets and all of that stuff he built. Like as far as I'm concerned, y'all already have all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, I tell people all the time, Hollywood more often than not to me gives you more truth than the government will or the
Yes,
media
yes,
will.
of
If
course.
you want to
It's
know what's really going on, look at a movie because
it's called predictive
they're
programming.
giving you pieces of the truth all the time. All the time.
It's called predictive programming. It's called
Predictive
predictive
programming.
programming.
Okay.
That's
That's a
that's
new
that's what
term for
they
me.
call
Go
it.
ahead.
Which mean it means that they're basically predicting to you what's already here and happening. But when you look at what just happened with SpaceX, your boy just launched
Hmm.
the rocket and during in the midst of COVID-19. So what that tells me is what they were building that during this whole
All
time.
along.
They
Just
were
I mean,
building that.
listen, it on a different note, they consistently move like that. I was just having a conversation with somebody about the whole cannabis thing and all of our people being incarcerated behind these ridiculous drug charges for cannabis, and the entire time they were cultivating multi-million billion dollar cannabis based businesses. They were
Mm,
cultivating it the entire time. You think
mm,
that they just popped up with these businesses? No,
right.
they knew what
Nah,
it was. And they
nah.
kept imprisoning us because they didn't want our people enjoying that. They didn't want us coming up on the cannabis industry. So now when you try to go step into that, now you got all these taxes and all of this regulations about this and that. They want to every time they want to corner the market and put you in a box. Corner the market, put you in a box. They want to make sure that no matter what, they know now, okay, they're going to be entrepreneurs. So now we need to control that narrative. Now we have to put our people in position to sell them what they need to be the entrepreneur. They that's how they move. So when you
Mm,
say separating, I agree because we have to own our own. We have to have things that we control from the source, from A all the way to Z, from alpha
what is
to
it?
omega. We have to control it. We can't
Yes.
keep letting them, like they say, if you allow somebody to feed you, then you give them the ability to starve you.
Ooh, wow. I haven't heard that one, but yes, definitely.
Yeah,
So now, again, you can see that they put everything they do out there in Hollywood in movies. They show you, and then we fall for like the same old tricks, and so we're gonna in this right here because I want to just get a little bit of um your perspective on it. Or what I mean by end it, I mean like, just talk about the health part. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? We want to
yeah,
talk about we want to talk about, the healing. To me, I want to create these healing circles for us. And every time these things happen, instead of people going out there and falling victim, I want us to go inward and start to elevate. And the more we elevate, the more we remove
yeah,
ourselves from them. The further and further we separate. So we got to elevate to separate. And the only way to elevate is to go in and seek refuge. And this is on a spiritual, a metaphysical, and physical level. This is on all levels. We got to go in and seek refuge, but we got to come in. So we got to start calling them in. We got to start calling them here. Come this way, because this is where refuge is. This is where safety is. This is where the healing is. It's not, the healing isn't in vandalizing and looting and tearing down things. That's just momentary. But what you
Right.
really want to do, what you're really trying to do, is heal
Is
yourself
find a way
through
to
pain.
build.
You're trying to heal yourself through pain. You're trying to, you're trying to heal yourself through anger. And the thing is, you're not going to get healed through anger. You got to be able to release that anger. You got to be able to remove that anger. That's why I said earlier, we cannot react, but we must, in another sense, redirect. Instead of reacting, we must redirect. And so we got to
Yeah.
redirect our minds, redirect our energy, redirect our resources,
That's
and redirect our
that's
our
one
our,
way
our
I help myself, my
no,
sage.
you good. You good. I'm all out. I need to go get me one. You feel me?
Oh, that's one of the things I offer through my
Oh,
company, sir. I have smudging kits, so I offer rose wrap white sage. White sage is my favorite, and also Palo Santo. I don't know if you know about the Palo Santo.
I
I
can
got
feel that too. I can feel that. But I can feel it.
yes, that's
I can
you
feel
have to realign your energy. You
that. Mm,
know, watching all of the stuff that's been going on, it took a toll on me. I have boys, I have children. And I said the other day when I watched George Floyd call out for his mother in his last moments, that struck something in my heart, hard, hard. Cause everybody know when you call for your mama, that's deep.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
deep.
That is deep.
That man knew
That
that they
is
was
deep.
about to kill him. He knew. And
That is
um
deep.
and
Hurt. That hurts.
I had to burn my sage. I had to inhale that and just cleanse myself of that negative energy because I didn't want to be so reactionary. Even in with speaking to my children, my 9-year old, he looked on the internet. He saw that clip of that cop having his knee on George Floyd's neck. And I burn sage all through the house, which my son loves when I do that. And then and I don't know for anybody watching what sage does, the burning of sage, it helps protect your space. It helps protect your energy individually, and you can even use it to protect the things around you, your home, your car, if that's what you want to do, burn it in your car. Protect it from uh, you're cleansing it of negative energy. And it even goes down to if someone comes to your door with negative energy, it gives you a barrier to keep that
Yes.
negative energy out of your space, out of your home, out of your body, to where you are what you just said, being in control of your own narrative. Palo
Right.
Santo is literally the word Palo Santo means holy tree.
Mm,
And Palo Santo, what a lot of people, usually I meet, they know about sage, burning of sage, to cleanse negative energy. But what Palo Santo does, it invites positive energy in.
mm,
So the thing is, if you study about sage, sage cleanses the energy out. Um, and you'll drive out the negative energy. But if you were depleted of your positive energy, the Palo Santo helps invite the positive energy back into you, invite that balance back into you to keep going forward. So I sell these kits with 3 wraps of white sage and 3 Palo Santo sticks so that you can burn your sage to cleanse your negative energy out your space, and then burn your Palo Santo to invite that positive energy back in. And you see me on IG and things like that, and people always talk about how positive a person I am. That's by design. That's not, uh, it's not just through happenstance. It's the work that I put in to make
yeah.
myself be in that place.
Creating a healing space for yourself, a space of
Exactly,
healing.
100, 100%.
And therefore people can, and therefore even though you may not put yourself out there like that, but people can feel the healing around you. And
Yes,
people will come to you for solutions, or people come to you for comfort. People come to you for, just to talk
all
about
the
life.
time.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're creating a space. I usually do have an incense burner or a sage with me, but that's another thing too. Yeah, having that sage. So that's why I'm glad you went into that. You rolled right into that very smoothly. And that's where I want to help us get to a
Thank
place
you,
where,
Dina.
yes.
She said, keep it
Um.
up. She listening.
Oh yeah. Where I want to get to
She's
that
looking at
place
the
where,
comments. Go ahead.
yeah, where we I want to get to that place with us where we start to promote this space for healing. And so, yeah, being able to find you on the internet, going to her IG, you know what I mean? You can get you a healing kit. And
Yes.
so coming to me, you can come and get, led to your inner being, your inner self, your whole self, your true self, and
Yes.
get, the healing that you desire, and create a space for you and your home and your beloved beings that live with you. And so my promotion, or my projection going forward from here is that from, from this point on, I, it's not going to be the last killing. We know that. It didn't stop. It didn't stop with Emmett Till, and it didn't start with Emmett Till. It didn't start with King, and it's not going to end with George Floyd. And we
Right.
already know that they're going to continue to do this to us. And I think as a responsibility, as a healer, as a conscious enlightened master, as a leader, a teacher, and as yourself being a facilitator of health, because you do your fitness, you do your workouts, you do all that, you sell healing. And so it is, I believe, as role players in our generation, it's our duty and it's our responsibility to start looking at our people that's out there protesting and all that, and calling them home. Kind of like,
Yes.
like you said, when George Floyd was calling mama, I just watched the video. I saw the clips. I saw the pictures, but I never saw the raw footage until yesterday.
You couldn't
And
watch
when I
it.
and when I
Could
saw
you
the
not watch it?
when I saw the footage, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Literally, something left me. Something left me. I felt something sink deep in the pit of my stomach,
Yeah.
and it wasn't anger. It wasn't anger. It was something. It was spiritual. It was something spiritual, powerful. When I
Mhm.
saw it, it sank right to the bottom of my, you know, myself, my being,
You
and I
felt the
felt it.
loss.
And I said, "What the fuck was that?" Literally, like, what the fuck was that? Because I just never seen no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You watch lions do this to like cheetahs, and I mean, you watch lions do this to like gazelles and buffalo. When they lock on their neck like that, and they take the life out of the source
They
out of.
take them down.
But I
Yeah.
never seen it happen like that, and that's kind of like what it was, like a lion locked on the neck of a cheetah. I mean, a lion locked on the neck of a buffalo or something, taking the life out of it, and it felt draining. In a different way. It didn't
Yeah.
feel draining of my energy. It felt draining of my soul. It felt like
Your
I
soul. E-
was
Especially
snatched.
when you watch it and you can see that he is, if you look at his foot, you
Mm-hmm.
can see him applying the pressure. You can see him putting leverage against his foot to push his knee into his neck. And so
Mm-hmm.
anybody, and that's why it's so ridiculous to me, the charges that they're bringing him up on. And I knew when they made the announcement, murder and manslaughter, I already knew the rub. I already knew the little, 52 fake out and what was coming next. Oh, it wasn't intentional. Oh, it wasn't premeditated.
It was his
Listen,
heart disease. Is what they said. It was his pre-existing conditions of heart disease. This is what they said. That he didn't die from his foot on his neck, but other conditions. I was like,
and his foot on his neck made no difference. So you mean to tell me that the injustice of a grown man putting his putting his knee on this man's neck restricting his breathing and continuing to do so, even when a woman, a white woman no less, who came up and said she was an EMT and said, you need to get off of him and you need to check his pulse. Tell me his pulse right now. And they still were unmoved. You're really out here trying to say that this wasn't an intentional murder? You're trying to say that there was no premeditation? You can't sell me on that. You can't sell me on that at all, at all. And I'm still, where's the charges for the other three officers? Where's the charges?
This is
Because they were not acting in accordance with the oath that they took.
Let me tell you something. You know how many counterfeit bills are in circulation in your bank right now? You know what I'm saying? They say that counterfeit bills are always slipping through the cracks. And this man got choked out for a $20 counterfeit bill.
Well, I heard that the bill was shown to not even have been counterfeit. That's the report I heard,
right.
that they proved that it wasn't even counterfeit. So he lost his life for nothing. Period.
Right. So the man died, and it was the saddest thing. I got to be honest, it was sad, and but what that did to me, because before I watched that video,
yeah.
I was enraged. I was angry before I watched the video. But watching the video reversed something in me where it didn't. That's why I'm here with you right now today, because I just watched the video last night or yesterday, and so now I am here with a different energy. Like, no, we can't. What I saw, what I felt, I'm saying, like, no, we can't take a loss like that no more. And we can't take a loss either by them going out there. We can't have the protesters losing life, and we can't have no one losing life senselessly, but because some counterfeit bill or whatever, or because he's selling loose cigarettes at the store or something.
Right.
We can't lose life like that. And when I saw the loss of life from that man, when I saw that man lose his life like that, it shook my soul, and I was like, I got to get my people out of this place, or I got to get my people healed. I got to get my people. They're hurting. That's why the riots are going on, because they saw what I just saw yesterday.
Yeah.
And so they're hurting.
Yeah.
They're hurt. Because that hurt. Like you said, that call to your mama, that shit ripped your soul.
That really. And to know that his mom is deceased. His mom died 2 years, almost to the day, I think they said, prior to that happening. So again, that was a very deep hurt, to hear him call out to her and then to find that out. And yeah, when you watch the video, because I watched the video immediately, and I had to take the time to wrap my mind around it. I had to take the time to, I already, even watching Ahmaud Arbery, like watching that video and then watching this video, it was just like,
right.
It was overwhelming. And so you have a people that are watching that, and and you didn't arrest them, and then you don't arrest him. When this is clear. And then even when the prosecutor came out in the first press conference, he basically was speaking like, well, yeah, no, they were doing their job, and he was basically talking like no charges was going to be brought. And that's why the people, and that's why I say I don't condone running in the Gucci store and running in doing all of that. But at the same time, they pay attention when you hit them in their pocket. They ain't paying attention when it's a black man on the street. But let that have been a role reversal. Let's think about that. If that was a white man laying in that street and 3 black cops and an Asian cop, would we even be having a discussion about charges? Would we even be having a discussion about there being no arrest? Come on now. But when you hit them where it hurts financially, now they want to stay up and pay attention. And that's not to say that that's right or that is even enough. But I get why so many people felt like, let's target that. Let's target let's
Mm,
target these businesses that are making ridiculous amounts of money off of our people and don't even treat our people right. Don't even in their advertising do racially charged things and blackface and all of this, that, and the third. So I understand where that came from wholeheartedly, because I don't want to, I wouldn't, I didn't feel like I wanted to break in anywhere to take nothing, but
right,
I can't lie. When certain things got set on fire, I was like, let it
right.
burn.
Yeah, me too. That's what I
Let it
said.
burn.
I said, let it burn. I was like, burn, baby, burn. You know what I'm saying? That's what I
Don't it
said.
don't affect me.
But
Don't hurt me.
right. So, um, we gotta, I'm just thinking like somebody said, Dina said that they're burning the White House guard house. Wow, that's crazy. So we see the agenda. We see what's happening. We know what's going on, and
Yeah.
we know what's on the what's. We know the platter that they're about to serve us. And so now we got to escape this, and we got to start. We got to move into a new place. So anybody that's going to be, if any protesters or will watch this video later, or we're calling people not right now. I'm not saying come now. I'm saying, but in your spirit, come, come home. In your spirit, come home, because you need healing, and you need healing. You want retribution, but the best retribution is to retreat. The best retribution is to remove yourself from all of that noise, because it wasn't until I saw the video did my energy change about this whole thing. It wasn't until I saw the video did I have a new perspective on it. And with the video now, I'm like, oh my God, my people are,
Mhm.
when I saw that video, I realized why they were out there. I'm like, man, they felt what I'm feeling. Their souls are ripped from them. They're hurt. They want to cry. So I'm like, yeah, now my people are hurting on a different level. It wasn't just another black man being killed. It was just watching it. And so in slow motion like that. So now the ideal is to get us into a space. And so I'm doing that right now. I got things in the work that's making it happen. But, you know, we got people like you out there also offering it
And
too.
we need to get together and work together on these things. And
Absolutely.
I seen somebody mention Antifa down in the comments. And I don't know exactly what, I know what the word means, but I don't know what point she wanted to make in
Oh
reference
no,
in
Antifa.
reference to that.
Antifa is the anti-fascists. The anti-fascist people. People that are like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
the
right.
anti-fascist people. So Antifa, that's a movement. That's a whole movement.
Right.
But so I just want to say, let us breathe. And
So important.
you happen to have the sage and all that going. So I want to do something real quick. Stay right there. All right.
Okay.
All right. So you offering sage, and I'm gonna offer us a new wave, a new vibration to tune into, so that we
Okay.
can start to hear that. Because when I
Yes.
go to sleep at night, I sleep to meditation music. You feel me? And it's
Mhm.
important. It's important to reprogram your DNA, your mind through your sleep. You understand? And refresh it. It's important to refresh it. So right now, I'm gonna just call for a moment of silence before I end this live with you, because I just want to say thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you
you
for
being
having
here.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this live with you. I'm gonna call for a moment of silence um for George Floyd. So here we go. May the spirit of George Floyd rest in paradise, rest in power, and may the spirit of those we lost in this time of struggle, in this time of hurt, in this time of pain, may the spirit of those that we've lost during this, before this, rest in power, rest in paradise, rest in peace. Ashe, Amun, Amen, and the tone.
Mm. I like that singing bowl you got over there.
Mm.
I
Mm.
need one.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yes.
I can tell you, go down, come to St. Pete. When you come to St. Pete, go to Go Pali, Gopali. It's a Nepal store. It's a Nepali
Okay.
store. Guy eats from Nepal, and it's on
Mm-hmm.
Central Avenue. Gopali. That's the name of it. Gopali, and look it up on Google. It's on Central. He got all the singing bowls you need, authentic
Okay.
singing bowls.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was looking into them. I was looking into them, but I'm gonna check. I'll come over there and check that out.
All right, God. Listen, I just
My
want to say
energy
thank
feels
you.
good.
I know I feel better too. I lifted the mood, right? I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Do your hands,
Thank
do your
you.
hands like this. Take your two back, take your two thumbs, put them, interlock them together like that. Take your hands and
Okay.
interlock, take them like
You
that.
said interlock my two thumbs.
Yeah, interlock your fingers into each other like that. Kind of like you're doing like this.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And
Okay.
then connect your hands like that. And then we
Okay.
say a, atone is spelled Atone, right?
Mhm.
Atone is to, like, if you read what the word atonement means, is to make, make an atonement for your sins is to make things right, right? So
Yeah.
when we atone, we're becoming aligned, we're becoming one. So atone is at one, Atone. So we're
Yes.
becoming one. And this means that's the infinity. So when you're looking at that,
Mhm.
that's the infinity. We're infinite, eternal, everlasting beings of God. And the pyramid is that we are aligned with the macrocosm and the microcosm. We are one with
Mhm.
all of that energy. And so as above, so below. So we are the
Yes.
infinite, eternal, everlasting being, as above, so below, as above, so below. I am God. Atone.
Beautiful.
I'll see you again.
Thank you guys. All right. We'll talk soon.
Very powerful. Wow. Was that not these my lives are getting and better and better. My lives are getting better and better and better and better. That's all I gotta say. Beloved beings, I love you. I love me. I love us. It is 1 o'clock, 5 minutes to 1 on the East Coast. I'm not gonna take too much of your time anymore. Sis, I see you. Appreciate all of you in the building. Everybody from Dina to my aunt to Tori to Denitra Neturu to Benit to everybody in the room. Aaron, everybody. I can't even, man, I'm sorry. I'm not even going to be able to go through it all, but so many. Thank you. Thank you. I am one with you. You are one with me. We are aligned as one together. Atone. I'm out.